Congratulations, you're expecting a little boy.
Yeah.
How are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm good. I mean, I'm swollen and I'm tired. I like to eat. And I like to take a lot of naps. I'm 41 and I'm doing it.
Yes.
So, I feel really lucky. And yeah, it's just wild. It's still very surreal to me. It truly feels like the most important thing that I will ever do in my life. Like nothing else matters, so everything just changes in your life. The way that I used to stress about other things, and I'm like, well, that doesn't matter anymore, and it can't, because he'll come first.
Is this something that you always wanted, and did you think it would happen, that this was meant for you?
Oh yeah, no, I did. I mean, it was something that I always wanted. And I'd been married before. I didn't think I'd ever get married again. And I've suffered from enough anxiety over it. So I kind of got to this place of I have to just give in. And, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I went away in August to work on a film, and I thought I had jet lag for a while, but it wasn't jet lag. I was driving to work every day, but I'd be crying on the way to work. I'd be bawling on the freeway, oh. But I just thought, I'm such an emotional person. I'm just processing things all the time.
Yes, feel those feelings. I can't thank you enough for being so open and transparent, using the platform that you have to talk about how, it's not all sunshine and roses and rainbows. You were very open about some of the hurdles that you experienced along the way.
Yeah.
Would you just share some of those obstacles that you encountered, and how did they maybe help you get to where you are today?
I'm being considered as such because I'm 40, but I don't feel 40. I'm what is 40? I had a doctor who I absolutely love, but it was just sort of the routine. It was the protocol to be well, if you're not here at this point, then that's what you're defined as, and it's never going to happen. One of the biggest things, the biggest gifts that he gave me when I came back from filming in August was he said, I'm so happy that you trusted in your body, that you listened to your body. And that just meant the world to me, because I'd spent so much time doubting it and having emotional breakdowns over it, thinking oh, well, it's all over. And it wasn't.
To see you sitting here smiling, glowing, your baby boy is coming. How are you preparing? Are you into books? Have you made a nursery? Where are you guys at with that?
Yeah. I still have my books I'm getting through. We've set up our little nursery. I mean, we're just doing it moment by moment. Lots of anxiety attacks.
Over what? Over what?
Oh, it's just terrifying. But for me personally, I've been processing the surrealism is around I never thought anything like this would happen for me, and now it's happening, and what does that mean? And oh my God, I'm gonna be a mom, and how do I be a good mom? It's just new. I think it's that first time mom craziness, where you're just I don't know what I'm doing. But I feel really lucky that I have a great group of women. I have an amazing midwife and doula, and I already have postpartum doulas that I'm talking to. And
so are you going natural home birth, homeopathic style?
That is my plan.
Wow.
That is my plan, but that's what I hope for. But I really just rely on my midwife. I mean, she's my center. I've actually known her since I was 16. They're very grounding for me, and it's okay, it's normal, when I call and I'm
Yeah. I know you're a very passionate person. I know you're very dedicated to, animal rights. I'm curious, as your son, grows up and becomes a little man, what are some of the qualities that you and your husband are hoping to instill in him?
Oh gosh. I mean, I just want to help raise a loving, aware, sensitive, conscious human being. I just want to give him the opportunity to experience all the magic in the world and to practice his empathy, and consideration of others.
You are absolutely delivering with your latest film, Don't Tell a Soul. And what I think it's so interesting is that this is not, vampires and monsters and a slasher movie. This is a movie that's absolutely grounded in reality.
I'm stuck down here. I cannot get out by myself.
That man is someone else's problem.
Matt, we can't just leave him there.
You boys are quiet today, not getting along.
It's definitely one of those stories that you kind of think it's one thing and then it turns into another. It's constantly surprising you and challenging you in some new way. The role of Carolyn was very heavy.
For sure.
And it was a huge transformation becoming her and really stepping into that world.
I feel so helpless with you boys. Give me a diet soda.
Sure, Mom.
I'm so used to seeing the glamorous Mena Suvari in movies and on the red carpet, seeing you in this character where she's very sick and she's very frail and fragile. Can you kind of walk me through your transformation process as an actor, whether that means, the physicality of it, or even I'm just curious how you master the breathy way of speaking in this movie?
Yeah, I was blown away by our production designer, Nora, who just served it up completely. Every single detail, for an actor, it was all there. The camera might never see it, but it's there and you see it. And it just, I think for me, it helps me get right into it. It's a combination of all of it. When you're able to be placed in that world, when you have the hair and makeup and all of it comes together. But it's funny that you asked about the breathy process.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Chris, one of our producers, I'm sure he won't mind if I tell this story. He told everyone how, he's like watching me the first day, or he's watching the monitor, and he asked Alex or our other producers, like, what is she doing with her voice? Like, what is she doing with her breath? And I thought it was the funniest thing because I'm, trying to tell him, I'm like, Chris, I'm dying. I'm on a ventilator, I have an oxygen tank. I'm not going to be talking perfectly normal. And
Right.
It was just the funniest moment because he, they had come to me in, considering me for this. And then I show up and you're sort of like, what is she doing? And it's just like,
You're sharing the screen in this movie with Rainn Wilson, with Fionn, with Jack. What was it like sharing the screen with so many dynamic actors?
oh, it's awesome. I really admire people and, geek out when I'm a fan.
Well,
But
I was gonna ask, are you an Office fan? Because
oh yeah, I mean, how could you not be? I mean, he's genius. He's so talented. Fionn was just the sweetest, and Jack, I just absolutely love him. I mean, he would give me hugs in the morning and call me mom. I always wanted a son, and so thinking like, oh, this is like the kind of son I would always want to have. I mean, he's just a sweetheart.